Now, let's sort of get around to the fact that your music has been used for the signature tune for Blue Peter for how many years?
10.
And I think they've recently sort of taken on something else.
Yes, they wrote me a very, very nice letter saying, we thank you for your music. We've used it for 10 years. And believe me, I'm not being sort of hurt about this, but I really don't like the new one because it's just sort of tapping a typewriter on a keyboard computer, you know. And to me, Blue Peter is like an old institution, you know, which so many people have grown up with it, you know. And if people are going to hear that computer music on the radio and on Blue Peter, who's ever going to bother to learn how to play properly? You know, playing properly comes with one thing, and that's practice. And practice and practice takes to be really good on the guitar. You've got to play it a lot, a hell of a lot. So it scares me the fact that these computers are taking over. I think it's a dead end. It's not going to lead anywhere. People call it music of the future, but it's not. It's nothing. Well, why don't they get some of the kids to come in and do it, to actually play it? You know, there must be some talented children. Why get some guy tapping out a computer, you know? It's dead easy. Have you ever tried to work one of these MIDI computers?
Are you really concerned that the future is a bit bleak looking musically then?
Luckily, there is a nice group of real musicians like Peter Gabriel, Phil Collins, who are there, you know. But, if we carry on making computer music, the young people aren't going to learn how to play. You know, it worries me.
When the first stirrings of electronic music happened, what was the very late 60s, early 70s, people like Kraftwerk and all that. What did you think of that? I mean,
Well, in those days, I thought it was exciting. In fact, I was one of the first people to get a Fairlight, and I've consistently been one of the first people to get any new piece of new technology, you know. But just recently, after finishing the last album, you know, I was working away on the computer, and I've been working all day, and I sort of pressed go, and, you know, return, and the whole thing started. It sounded like a big orchestra with hundreds of musicians, and I had it set going round, and I left it. And I came back in the morning, and it was still going round, and it'll still be going round now. It would go round and round forever. And it's just suddenly occurred to me that that's not music, it's a machine. Another thing that's been worrying me, I don't think that the actual music is what counts anymore. I think it's the performance that counts. When I look at some of the tunes on Tubular Bells, they're so damn simple. It's about 4 or 5 notes. And if you play it on a computer and set it going round, it doesn't sound like nothing, you know. If you've got a real musician playing it with his conviction and his soul, heart and soul in it, then it sounds like something, you know. So I believe that even the simplest tune with 3 notes, if it's performed properly, then it's worthwhile.
Do you think you're adopting a very conservative attitude, you know, and you're being a bit
reactionary? No, I wouldn't, if I had never tried it.
I suppose your advantage is that you can play as well.
And I've learned to play, but there's nothing stopping the rest of the population learning to play. All you've got to do is pick up your guitar and learn how to play it and practice it.
Do you think they're going to bother though if they can make hit records for 800 quid?
No, hence I'm here talking to you, giving you my opinion, because I hope to maybe influence somebody.
Obviously the sales of Tubular Bells was somewhat increased when it became the theme music for The Exorcist.
Yeah.
Did that lead you to believe that, this is what I should be doing, writing film music?
Not really. I didn't design the Tubular Bells for The Exorcist. They just simply took it from the album. And in fact, I didn't see The Exorcist for, many years until after it was released. I saw it about 3 or 4 years ago. I always thought it was a good film.
Weren't you curious as to know why they'd chosen that?
No. At the same time, one of the best experiences I had in the cinema was listening to how Stanley Kubrick put music to his films, like 2001 and Clockwork Orange, you know. And I saw real possibilities in that. So I was on at Richard and Virgin for ages to try and find me a film. And eventually I met David Putnam and got the job of doing The Killing Fields. But having done it, I don't really want to do it again, to be honest.
Why?
Many reasons. It was a wonderful film, but I felt that the director and the producer, to a certain extent, really wanted stock, to me, slightly cliched film music, technique style of music, you know. It's the simple things like whenever anything's dangerous, you put what we call a diminished fifth, which is one of these, you know, and sort of dangerous chase sequences you've got, you know, which, you know, is so easy to do, and you've got something sad and you've got to have a sad oboe, you know. I wanted to try and do something different, like it was a big battle scene, and my idea of the music with that was a big rock band with like Hendrix-style guitars on it, you know. But they didn't want that, you know. Just because there were soldiers in it, they had to have snare drums going. I tried to be as experimental as I could within the framework that they gave me. And I worked very hard on the film, and I also had to believe emotionally in it. And so I find it emotionally really draining